Hey guys, welcome to another week of WoW Weekly with Myst. Hope everyone is doing well. And for this week, it's a pretty chill week actually. It's just arena skirmish. And also tomorrow will be the micro event, Hatchlings of the Hippogryph. A lot of those events don't really get you anything, but I was thinking of actually doing that micro event because I usually skip it. So I'm going to do a video, but because it's a one day only event, by the time the video uploaded, it'll probably be pretty close to it ending. So I'm going to tell you guys what that event actually is and how you do it. I'm just going to give you like a quick little how-to right now on it. So don't expect anything too great. This is not a legit how-to video. This is WoW Weekly. But if you are interested in doing the Hatchling of the Hippogryph event, which will be on Tuesday. So you're going to take the portal. You can go to the your main city's portal room and take the portal to Cavern of Time and then fly to Tauralus. And the coordinates you're going to aim for is 5474. It'll be like southwest-ish. And you stand beside an egg. They're going to be in some big nest areas. And it'll do a speech. And then a baby hippogriff will appear on your shoulder. You'll get a buff. It's called Frey Feather Hatchling. It'll last for 24 hours. And then you can go to 5471 and there'll be a mob Lorthalium. You just kill them, loot the item. The item that you're looting is Spectral Feather, and it extends your buff for 5 days. So in other words, you can have this pet on your shoulder for like 6 days. And that is basically it. That is the event. So like I said, they don't really reward you anything. That pet will vanish. But if you have the Hippogryph Hatchling pet, it's definitely similar to that. And might be a cool little event you want to do. And that is the quicker version. I will probably do a video on it, but like I said, it's a one-day event. I gotta wait till Tuesday to do the video, and yeah, I don't know if I'll get the video out on Tuesday, so that's why I figured we'd just let you know that way. So have fun if you're doing that. And if you don't have the Hippogryph Hatchling, that is actually on the black market a lot of the time. I've gotten a few of those. So that is the events for this week. Not much going on at all. We just had 2 big events that ended, Love is in the Air and Lunar Festival, so I guess that makes sense. Also, Renown. So we will have 36 be the max Renown this week. And basically what you'll get with that is when you hit 35, you're going to get 2% stamina added. And when you hit 36, you'll get a weapon illusion. As for my goals for the past 2 weeks has been to get the Love Rocket, and once again, it was a fail. Yeah. So I will be farming that again next year, unfortunately. So now, back to Shadowlands, basically. I've put all my Shadowlands stuff more or less on hold, aside from keeping up with my Renown and that kind of stuff. But we are back to focusing on the main, and yeah, no more interruptions. So my goal this week is that I'm going to get back to the rep farm. I've been kind of slacking due to 2 weeks of the Love Rocket, right? So that is my goals for the week, and we'll just see where I am after that. And yeah. Still leveling alt, so may do a little bit of leveling as well, but I think mainly I want to focus on the rep, get that kind of out of the way. And that is it for my goals. So let's get to news. There's a lot of news. I'm hoping I can cover it all within my 30 minutes that I like to make these videos at max. So, but yeah, Blizzconline was this past weekend. There was a lot of stuff covered. Okay, so for the first bit of news, just some upcoming patch news. So they will be doing some changes to the Asheron, Isle of Conquest, and Wintergrasp Epic Battlegrounds. I have screenshotted each one of the 3 involving the changes they plan on doing. Also in the upcoming patch, there's going to be some changes for the Mythic Plus dungeon loot. So it, coming straight from a Blizzard post, they say, completing a Mythic Keystone dungeon after the timer has ended will now reward a second item. The item of the second item will be slightly lower. Example, finishing a Mythic 7 Keystone dungeon but not completing the timer now rewards the party with a 200 item level item and a 197 item level item. Now, I don't know if I'm fond of this whole thing, because I think there could be a lot of toxicity with getting items through a depleted key, like rewarding people for not completing it. I don't know. That, yeah, because it always was one item before, and now depleting a key grants 2 items. I can't say I'm too terribly fond of that one. That's really gonna make people not care. A lot of people not care if that key is done in time. Yeah, I definitely see some negativity with that particular one. Next up, still on the topic of upcoming patch news. I did mention last week that they had announced a Valor returning to the system. This week we've found out, or this past week, we've found out what the weekly cap and the total cap is going to be on that currency. And that is 750 for the weekly and 1500 as a total cap. Basically, the outcome of that is you can more or less bank it for a couple of weeks, but you're probably going to have to start spending a couple of weeks after. So you can get Valor from daily callings. You can also get it from doing Mythic Pluses. A +7 over on the PTR grants you 135. So unless they change that, that's what it's sitting at right now. And so if you did enough of both of those per week, you would easily hit that cap. Another thing that will be coming up in the upcoming patch is some changes to the mentor system. So as you know, if you have signed up to be a guide mentor to help other people in the game, the requirements were BFA related because that's when the system came in. Now they've changed it, so now it's still you gotta be level 60 and 3,000 quests completed, but the 5 options of the last 2 that you need is now Terrific Trio was always there, but the rest has changed. So now it'll be Rival Rank for Shadowlands Season 1, defeat all the Castle Nothria bosses. Of course, it's still on any difficulty, so that does include LFR mode. And Terror of Torghast, so complete all Wings of Torghast on Layer 8, which is still a pretty heavy-duty one. And then Unwavering Bond which is to unlock your third and final soulbind by finishing your Covenant campaign. Easy to do if you're, keeping up with your main character.
Why would anyone walk anywhere?
Okay, so that basically covers our portion of the upcoming patch news. Now for the Blizzconline stuff. So we found out that the Blizzard Arcade Collection is coming to the Battle.net. It's actually already on there if you ordered the collection bundle that had the mount and the pad and all that. And basically what the Arcade Collection is back in their earlier days, they had 3 games, Rock and Roll Racing, Lost Vikings, and Blackthorn. And when I say early days, I'm talking like 1993, 1994. These were old school games, and they have brought it onto the Battle.net. So if you have the collection, the Celebration Collection, if you purchased any part of that, you will have it for free on your Battle.net. Also, they have announced that they are going to bring that Blizzard Arcade Collection over to consoles. So you, somewhere down the road, should be able to access it on the consoles. There's no further info on that yet, but when there is, I'll let you guys know. Okay, so on to some Shadowlands news. So they did release the cinematic for Chains of Domination, which will come out in 9.1. And just for those that maybe didn't watch Blizzconline, I'm going to run it. It's just a few minutes. And you can check it out. There are spoilers in here, so if you really do your best to stay away from all spoilers till you can play it, everything's time-stamped. You can just skip to the next one.
Look around you!
What makes you believe you're not just a weapon to achieve his ends?
Enough! Join our cause, or be made to serve.
Right now, you hold all the power. Make your choice, Sylvanas Windrunner.
Despite all our efforts, the Maw continues to grow. What if Denathrius' treachery is irreparable? The Primus is lost, and Bastion cannot save the Shadowlands alone.
None of this should have happened.
Perhaps the Winter Queen could...
My Archon, a living soul seeks an audience.
A mortal?
A king. By all our measures, one who has spent his life striving for justice. One who would give anything to serve his people. One whose heart is true.
Very well. He may approach. Step forward. My Ascended have spoken of you. The king held captive in the Maw.
That prison could not hold me forever.
Why have you come to Bastion?
You have a key that I need.
You will release this soul from your grasp.
No. He is bound to me.
Just as you once sought to bind your own brother. performed its part flawlessly. 3 keys remain. Then they will see. Death was never meant to be chained.
So at the end of that cinematic, you see a ledge, and that ledge is Korthia, which is going to be a new zone for the Maw. And also some new rewards in the Maw. I really like the horse that's in there. The others, they're okay. But I do like the Maw horse. And also they did discuss the Sanctum of Domination. They didn't go too much into it, but we do know the basics. We know there's 10 bosses, and the Eye of the Jailer be a big thing in there. And that we will have Sylvanas sitting in there. I think those are pretty much the 3 major points of that raid. There's also going to be some Torghast updates with some new floors, new mobs, new traps, new powers, as well as a broker Megadungeon. So this is going to act similar to how in BFA we had the Megadungeon before they separated it. Now the way it's explained sounds really interesting to me, because I'll tell you word by word here. It says you'll start in a broker city and learn about new broker factions, including assassins, 4-armed broker guards, and infinite pirate dragons. The second part of the dungeon involves a heist as you chase down a broker who goes through portals. So, sounds very interesting. I'm very intrigued on that particular Megadungeon. I was super hyped for the Mechagon one when they brought that out as well. And as usual, it will be mythic only. Eventually that will change. They usually break it down a little more later on, but to start it will be mythic only. So we now know how we are going to obtain flying in Shadowlands, and how that is there's no rep included anymore for the Pathfinder. Yes, Pathfinder still exists, so it is an achievement you will unlock, and as long as you have completed your campaign, you have it. That is basically the only requirement. And as far as your alts, as long as you have it, your alts will have it. They'll gain access at level 50. And as an additional perk, they chose to give us a mount with the Pathfinder, and each covenant has their specific mounts that they get. So these pictures that you've been seeing during this little chat here are the covenant mounts that you would receive through the Pathfinder. Okay, so since we're on the topic of cosmetics, mounts, and all that, let's talk about the Wandering Ancient mount. So this is a mount that we basically voted on, and they've finally kind of given us an idea of when. So there's no official release date, but they have said we will see this mount in March. So next month sometime, we will have access to this mount. And one additional cool thing that I found out is that apparently this mount changes color depending on the seasons. So that's a cool little extra. So really, basically what that means is we're going to see it in the next patch, because we would have 9.0.5 by then. And as far as what do you need to get it, all you need is Shadowlands. Like, as long as you're playing Shadowlands, it's legitly a free mount. I'm not sure how they're distributing it yet, but it will be free. My guess, of course I might be stretching this a little bit, but my guess is you'll log in one day, an achievement will pop saying that you participated in a mount voting section or something like that, and then you'll just have the mount in your mail or something like that. That's how I imagine it would happen, but that's not official info. That's just kind of how I see it going. It could also be a quest line, but I'm definitely thinking an achievement is involved, kind of similar to when we voted on the choppers back in the day. You know, that ignited an achievement as well that said you took part in that voting. Another cool piece of info that we found out this past week is that the Maw, when 9.1 comes out, Chains of Domination, all mounts will work in the Maw. So you don't need to have a specific Maw mount. So if you're a person that doesn't want to do, you know, Twisting Corridors Layer 8, which I don't blame you, it's a lot of work to get up there, and you're not really at the point where you're doing hunts yet or anything like that, plus I believe that's a low drop chance, you can mount up on whatever mount you choose in the Maw once 9.1 releases. So that is definitely one cool upcoming thing. I like that, even with me doing Maw mount stuff, because I just prefer to be on my favorite mounts. Okay, so for the next bit of news, has to do with Stygia, and it has been reported that once Season 2 starts up, Stygia won't be used for that season. It will have its own new currency that we use for that. Doesn't mean that Stygia will be obsolete or anything. You'll still use it for your Season 1 gear to upgrade and stuff, but yeah, there will be a different currency type when the new season comes out. Okay, so for the next piece of news, kind of bad news, kind of bad, but there is 40 more Renown levels expected for the 9.1 patch, which I really saw coming. I called that pretty much right at the beginning of Shadowlands. Yeah, I knew they weren't going to stop just at 40. And just because we've been able to get them so easily, even with, I know there's a lot of people that bitch about the time gating and all that, but you're still getting 40 Renowns pretty early in the expansion. So expect another 40, guys. Hopefully we'll at least get some good rewards for it. Now with that piece of bad news, I'll give you a little good news. Many of you guys probably know Pepe. He's going to return. The creator was showing off some ideas at Blizzconline. And so these are some of the ideas he had for Covenant outfits for him. And I think they're pretty cute. As far as the Covenant, outfits and stuff, he is tied to the 40 more Renown. I don't think he would be at like 80 Renown or anything like that, but I think he's probably somewhere in the mix. We'll have to see that patch and be at least 41 Renown to get him, but yeah, I'm hoping he's not, the final reward or anything, but it is cool to see him back, and I like collecting all those costumes for him. They're super cute. Okay, next I have one last piece of retail WoW news. Effective right now. It has to do with live, and it is the Bonehoof Tauralus mount. I went over that a bit last week in the WoW Weekly because we had finally gotten a little bit of info, but it turns out we got the wrong info. And this is what I hate. It's such a guessing game when it comes to like some of these mounts. And yeah, so people had figured that you needed to be Renown 32 to obtain the Bonehoof Tauralus mount, which is a Necrolord only mount. And it's been reported that someone at Renown 31 looted it, so obviously you don't need to be Renown 32. But there does seem to be another thing that is a requirement. So this is something I will eventually do a video on, but, you know, I don't know when I'll do that video, so I'm just going to tell you how to, you know, how to get around this requirement. So, first thing, be a Necrolord. Renown, oh, we don't know, as long as you're 31, I guess. You will also have to have Abomination Stitching level 2. And you have to have the Abomination Nina with you. Now for the how do you unlock Nina. So once you upgrade your Abomination Stitching to level 2, you can find Nina as a spirit in the Rotting Mound, which is in Maldraxxus at 6941. There you will kill the elite in front of her to get a key to unlock her cell. And then after you release her, she'll have a quest and unlock Construct Body Nina at your Abomination Stitching table. It will cost 20 malleable flesh to build a body for her. And that is what we know on the unlock. So definitely, if you're interested in this mount and you're not working on the Abomination Stitching, then start working on that. As for the drop rate, it's all an estimate right now. No one truly knows the drop rate, but it is being rumored to be between 1 to 5%. So somewhere between those numbers is the drop rate of this mount. Okay, now for some classic news. I think we all knew that Burning Crusade was going to get announced. That was not really a shocker to anyone. It was just a matter of when. And so that did get announced. And it has been... the release date for it is still unconfirmed, but they do say 2021. So sometime this year, we will have access to Burning Crusade.
You dare enter my realm. Your foolishness has brought you to this end. Take my blood and choke on it.
Death to the outsiders!
I'll turn your world upside down.
You are not prepared.
So basically what they're doing is, if you are already playing Classic, you can clone your character to the Burning Crusade realm that you choose to go to.
Complete.
So basically how it works is you can choose to stay on the Classic servers, or you can choose to go to Burning Crusade. They say on patch day you'll be able to open the Battle.net app and choose which game you want to play, Burning Crusade or WoW Classic, and your current characters will show on both of those game types. Once you've chosen the game to play, you'll select a character to play and confirm your choice. If you decide you'd like to play your character in both game types, you'll be able to use an optional paid service to gain access to the cloned character. Then you log in as you normally would and play. So that is kind of what we know so far on the character stuff. Another thing we know now, which I was really surprised when I first heard, is that you can actually boost a character in preparation for the BC launch on Classic. Obviously, these boosts will not include Blood Elf or Draenei, but anything else, yeah, you can boost to 58 and then just start from there. They say that they're gonna announce the ability to do that a little closer to the launch of the BC servers. So there will be 5 phases of BC Classic when it shows up. The first phase is going to start with the original 8 dungeons, as well as Kara, Gruul's Lair, and Magtheridon's Lair. Phase 2 will have Serpent Shrine Cavern and Tempest Keep. Phase 3 is when we'll get Battle for Mount Hyjal and the Black Temple raid. And Phase 4 will release Zolomon, and Phase 5 will be the release of Keldana's Magister's Terrace and the Sunwell raid. Originally, they had mentioned that they were going to start the arena seasons in Phase 2, but it's looking like now that they're going to start it right away. So it's showing that Phase 1 will have Arena Season 1, Phase 2 will have Season 2, Phase 3 will have Season 3, Phase 4 is going to have no new season, and then Phase 5 will bring Arena Season 4. So basically, once they started mentioning cloning characters and stuff, a lot of people really were interested about the gold cap. And basically, their answer to that is that they have no plans to add a gold cap when you transfer to the BC servers. Also, another thing that was mentioned is that the BC Classic will have pre-nerf bosses, mainly because players have a lot of knowledge of the content for, it being around for so long. And the one last piece of info I have regarding Classic BC, just like when WoW Classic released, people who had the collector's edition for vanilla were able to have their pets in the game. The same thing applies to BC, so if you bought the collector's edition that gave you the Netherwelp's collar, you're going to have that on your BC Classic account as well. Okay, and for the last bit of WoW Weekly, even although this isn't technically WoW related, but Diablo. Diablo was a piece of the Blizzconline I was really interested in. They showed off a new class for D4. It is the Rogue, and the trailer made the Rogue look really good.
Your prayers do not fall on deaf ears. Just know they are being but you have to be patient. Now, pray with me. May Akarat guide and protect me.
May Akarat guide and protect me.
May he shepherd my soul.
May he shepherd my soul.
And grant it mercy.
And grant it mercy.
What are you doing here? This is not the time.
But this is confession. And I have sinned. I was a thief who stole from those more fortunate. I strayed from your light and found my trade in the shadows. They call it murder. I say, job well done. I am a thief, a heretic, a murderer, Father. Will Akarat save me?
You mock our light. But those monsters were a scourge upon my flock. And you were the answer to their prayers.
Then we are settled, and you owe me.
The name you seek is... Thank the heavens for you.
Heavens? I assure you, Father, the heavens didn't send me.
For D4, there will be a lot of open world features, also mounts to collect, and also some PvP. I've screenshotted all this, so feel free to pause the video if you're interested in more of that. Also, they announced the release of Diablo 2 Resurrected. They showed some footage. I will show you the trailer on that. Release date wise, there's no official date, but they did mention sometime in 2021.
How was it not yours, a wanderer?
Now you know what I seek, Marius.
Were these the demons from... Don't do it! It seems I'm not exempt of a
Arise, Diablo, Lord of Terror. Though this be our darkest hour,
It may yet be your greatest moment.
So this year, if everything rolls properly and isn't postponed, this year would be a good year for Blizzard stuff because Resurrected and BC Classic is both supposed to be in 2021. Now, they have stated that they want to avoid what happened with Warcraft. So they have said that the Diablo 2 Resurrected and the Diablo 2 we know, the classic one, will be 2 separate games. And that covers our video. So I can just tell, prior to me editing this video, that it's going to be longer than our traditional 30 minutes or less WoW Weekly. There was a lot of info that was handed to us in Blizzconline, and being that I play Diablo as well, that's why Diablo's in this WoW Weekly. I kind of cover the games I love, and the games I love is WoW and Diablo. So if you're wondering why I'm not covering the rest, I like Overwatch and all, but I don't really cover Overwatch news. We're WoW and Diablo. I just slip Diablo in every so often into a WoW Weekly. It's not very much a regular thing, but I hope you enjoyed anyway. I'm very excited for pretty much everything I discussed today. The 9.1, just some new content will be nice. Can't say I'm too excited about the extra 40 renown levels, but I can't wait to fly again. and classic BC has been my favorite expansion since 2006, whenever it came out. And so I'm excited for that. I'm a casual classic player, but I definitely will be playing more when BC comes out, because it was my true love, as far as WoW goes. Diablo wise, we didn't get a whole lot of info, I guess, but the rogue reveal was really nice. I like it. Diablo 2 Resurrected, I'm interested in that. I think the graphics look amazing for what they've done. And the old games, I was super hyped for that. As soon as they released that info, I was like, whoa, cool. So yeah, I definitely plan on playing those. I used to play the racing game all the time. Yeah. And that's basically it. I honestly thought they did a great job on Blizzconline, considering it wasn't a real convention, it definitely had a different feel to it, for sure. There was a lot less because of it being online, typically it wouldn't just be a few hours a day, but you do what you gotta do, right? But hopefully we will have an actual BlizzCon next year, maybe. I don't know. See how the world goes. And, yeah. And personally, I think the old games, I think we more or less got that, because the celebration pack, I think, was kind of acting as a BlizzCon goodie bag. That's kind of the feeling I got from it, is with it being free with your celebration pack. I kind of felt like that celebration pack was our BlizzCon goodie bag. And that's all I got to say. So I hope you enjoyed. Yay for timestamps, right? However, I can't imagine anyone interested in the Blizzconline news would have hit any of those timestamps, because there's there was a lot of good stuff kind of all over the place there. But yeah. And Love Rocket is done now, so we are back to the WoW content, guys. I have totally been, I won't say I've been slacking, I've just been using the Love Rocket streams as content, but I got some good stuff for you guys coming up, and this week is gonna be a lot of editing. And so I hope you guys enjoy that. And we're getting close to our 100th video. This is the 99th WoW Weekly I have put together. It's crazy. I can't believe I've kept a WoW Weekly going on this long. I'm glad you guys enjoy it, though. I think WoW Weekly is probably the video that I get the most compliments on, honestly. So I feel like people look forward to the WoW Weekly, which is nice. And that's all I got. I don't want to babble too long because this video's already long enough. So have a great week, guys. And we will see you. Well, actually, I might be in stream as you're watching this. My intention anyway was to, I plan on streaming time walking, because I've been so busy doing Love is in the Air that I didn't do time walking. As far as gear wise, I might get an upgrade. It's only 200 and I have like 2 pieces on me that aren't 200, so might not get an upgrade. But the main reason I like to do it is for the mount attempts anyway, so it's more or less for some infinite time reaver attempts. Just the loot would be a nice little perk if it happens to be a ring or a belt piece, because those are literally the only 2 pieces on me that could be upgraded with a 200. So yeah, hoping for that. So I will be in stream today. Feel free to drop by, say hi, whatever. And we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.